Good morning, guys. So I don't know what's got into me, but I'm doing another 100-mile ride. Anyway, I wanted to talk to you about ride while you can. And I don't want this to be clickbait and bashing people with e-bikes, because they're riding and it's a different sport, but I don't want it to make it about that. I wanted to make it about you understanding your fitness capabilities, or your health and wellness capabilities to ride and be as functional as an athlete as you can. And let's think back, all the way back to toddler and infancy, when you were a child, or you remember watching your child learn to walk, and then after learn to walk, learn to run and play sports. And you, either yourself, when you were at that, you felt like you were on the top of the world. You had learned how to master your fitness and health ability to the point where you felt competitive, or you felt athletic in such a way that sports became fun. Getting outdoors, running, jumping, climbing, swimming, anything you did, you felt like you had that ability to do that with confidence and accuracy, agility. So when you think about that, and think about how critical our health is and how important it is to maintain some type of athleticism as you age, you start having a different perspective. I personally have broken several bones, have been in cast, have been non-weight bearing because of my broken bones, and it was tough. It was tough for me mentally, and then I was thinking, oh my God, am I going to be able to ride my bike again? Am I going to be able to have that same level of athleticism? And of course I did. I got right back into it, and I didn't gain a lot of weight. I didn't allow myself to stop training. I immediately started training, or I don't know if I want to call it training, because I just like to ride, so started just doing my normal riding. And at the time I was teaching indoor cycling classes, spinning classes we used to call them, and I would teach. I actually have taught with a broken arm, and then after I broke my leg in 2 places, I went back to teaching 6 weeks later. So I chose to do that. I chose to get right back on the horse, and that just is me, almost out of fear that if I didn't get right back into it, if I didn't keep my athleticism, it would go away. And that was my thinking, and that still is my thinking to today. You don't use it, you lose it. And that's part of the reason why I am so consistent with exercise, mostly cycling, but I also do the gym. But that's why I really never stop. No days off. And yes, there's days off where I rest, but the saying, no days off, meaning you're always thinking. And that's what I want to talk to you about too. How are you thinking about health? How are you thinking about fitness? Are you thinking about it in a way that when you wake up in the morning and you're getting ready to start your day, are you thinking about a healthy activity you're going to do today? What are you going to do for fitness? Whether it's a simple thing like walking your dog, or whether it's riding a Century, or maybe it's just a short mountain bike ride and you're going to go do a short mountain bike. I've done plenty of those. I love mountain biking. So, or you're going to go to the gym. And I even think more in detail. I might go to the gym and I want to do 100 pull-ups. I can't do 100 pull-ups at once. There was a day when I could do 50 at once, but I do sets and try to get the 100 in. And are you gonna say, I'm gonna go to the gym, it's gonna be my back day, I can't wait to do the pull-ups, the rows. I'm thinking about the details of what I'm gonna do that day with my workout. Same thing when I'm about to go on my Century ride. I'm thinking, okay, I'll go over here, I'll go up to Azusa first, then I'll go down to Huntington Beach or Seal Beach or wherever I want to go. I'm going to take this bike path, I'm going to take this route, or maybe I want to try something else and I want to go on another bike path and ride over to that one. Last month I rode over to, this is the San Gabriel River, I rode over to the Santa Ana River bike path and took that part of the way. So I think about that and I think, okay, what about my gearing? What about my cadence? I know if I'm in 48-14, I can do already 80 RPM and keep it around 20. Am I going to try to keep it at 22? Am I going to let it just drop to 18? When am I going to make my average cadence? When am I going to make my average speed? What do I want to keep as my average heart rate? So I think granularly about this, because the more I get into it, the easier it is for me to do and think about doing it, because of that pre-planning, preconceived ideas about the fitness that I'm about to undergo that day, or the long ride if you want to be more specific, or the short ride if I'm doing mountain biking. So I think of life like that, and I think of do it while you can. Don't wait and neglect yourself till you get to that day that you can't ride, you can't run, you can't even walk up 2 flights of stairs. And I talked a little bit about that in my last video, but I think there's too much of this passive attitude about how important your health and your functionality plays a role in your longevity of living a full, healthy life. And I think people wake up one day and they realize, oh my God, I wish I would have kept doing my long walks. Something as simple as that. Or they think, oh my God, I used to be able to run the 100 in this much time. When's the last time I tried to run a 100-yard dash? Or when's the last time I went jogging for 3 miles? Could I even take it? Can my knees take it? So I hear that all the time too about the knees. Don't get me started about that. And people used to criticize me and say, you shouldn't do all that single speeding. It's gonna mess with your knees. Well, my knees feel fine and they're not young. Yes, I do have a little bit of arthritis in my left knee and sometimes it does get swollen, but my cold plunges are really amazing for that. And I do my stretching. After I do my rides, I have my whole after ride ritual with a smoothie and stretching and cold plunging and everything else. So I even have compression tights that I'll wear at night sometimes, but most of the time I just make sure I double up on my magnesium, and that helps me rest at night and not have muscle cramps. Although I'm pretty good about not cramping. I thank God I've never been a cramper, but that can't happen to people. So you think about that. Think about what you want to do with your health and fitness to keep it going, keep riding, and never stop. And I'll talk to you guys later.